All right. And can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So what we'll start out with here before we'll kind of have you go through your 30, 60, 90, kind of talk through it. And then I'll have some questions. Tommy will have some questions, and then we might circle back to your 30, 60, 90, but we'll start with you kind of um, walking us through it here real quick. So, I mean, not real quick, but walking us through it. So the floor is yours.
Okay. So within the first 30 days, I do want to complete all the required trainings that are in Academy for it. That will help bring me up to speed on everything that's expected with the lead position or with the team trainer position. Uh, I also want to discuss with Joe or the new FSM, if whoever that is, and Tommy on areas that we do want to focus on the market on the next both short term and long term. Uh, if we have this training unit that the training team's set up to have built, which I think you have it, Joe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have it. We built one.
Okay. Okay, so we'd make sure that we have that way, so we can take care of any training with anybody that might need some other things. Uh, with the reporting that's on Vivint University, since I don't have access, I don't know what's there, and so I'd like to see what reporting's there, see what trends we can see on there, and what areas of focus that basically get another set of eyes on those. And kind of see where guys need improvement, where guys can't actually use help, but also where guys are really succeeding in that way, so we can point that out to them. Hey, you're doing great on this. What do you think is allowing you to succeed in this? And then that brings me to the next topic with meeting with everybody one-on-one, because doing things over the phone is great, but actually being in person and seeing somebody on the job, seeing the things that they're doing, and then also seeing what they feel they're strong on and what they feel they're weak on. There's guys on the team that I have not been on a job on site with, and so that's important to get that personal relationship with somebody and kind of see what they've got going on. Uh, and then the next thing is my personal pace performance plan. It's something that I did when I was a manager, and basically you're pitting everybody against themselves. And my next slide kind of explains it, so I won't go into too much of it on this one. But and this last one kind of follows in with all that. Really establishing who the top performers are in every category that we have, and every metric that we have, every reporting that we have, and seeing what they're doing that way, so we can get somebody that's rounded out and get all the good points that everybody's doing, and try to roll that onto everybody on the team. So, and so can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
that one,
so
right?
yes.
Okay.
So with the personal pace performance plan, so again, like I said, I did this when I was a, a, a lead in Houston, and it pits each SHP against themselves. And so, I would discuss with the FSM and the regional manager what areas they really wanted to focus on. This works really great with revenue, with upgrade per installs. And so basically what you do is you take a 3-month running average that they've got. You can set up some minimum qualifying metrics. So, DIR has to be over a certain percentage. Uh, their their net promoter score has got to be over a certain percentage, et cetera, to qualify for this. But basically you run this 3-month average on it, and they have to beat that average by a certain percentage. So, maybe 30 or 40%. And with that, they will get a small reward. But this makes it so that everybody's, got a chance at that reward. And, you've got some newer guys that, they're going to be struggling, and they might get a stellar month, and we want to recognize them for that. They're they might not be the top person on the team, but they may have had, you know, their best month ever, and we do want to recognize those things that way so they can feed off that glory and carry that on over to the next month. And, you know, just recognizing the top person of the month. Yes, that's great, but, you know, we might miss something further on down that you know, that somebody needs recognition for. So that's kind of why I would suggest something like this. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. So in the 31 through 60 days, I want to finish meeting with all the SHPs. The reason why I said that is, you know, from what I've seen is, you know, I'm not going to be, the trainer's not going to be blocked off a lot. They still have to work a regular schedule and all that. So the meeting with all the SHPs might carry over into the next time period. And, you know, we also want to start following up with the guys that are struggling and apply to them those best practices that we've got from the top performing SHPs. And, you know, this can be done over the phone or doing while we're meeting up with all of them. And then we can finalize that performance plan if the FSM and the RM decide to do something like that. And, you know, also continue with the reporting, you know, identifying areas of concerns, and then reassessing how the SHPs, since we are in another month, reassessing them, and again, re-identifying anybody that's struggling in a certain metric. And then with 61 through 90 days, you know, again, following up with those low-performing SHPs that we identified, seeing how they felt their month went, and, you know, showing them, you know, if we saw noticeable improvement in the metrics that we were focused on with them, because that feedback and that follow-up is what helps identify if they're taking to heart the discussions that you had and the feedback that you provided to them. And so, you know, you can roll something out to somebody, but if you don't follow up on it, there's no guarantee that it did work or that they're actually applying that. And, you know, the other things with those reportings, as, you know, we're more familiar with it and we can see more trends in it, we can act on any things that we see that are showing up in the trending. And then we would roll out this personal performance plan, and, you know, roll it out to the team, and explain it to them, get them on board with it. And then again, since it is a new month, we're going to reassess with those low-performing SHPs from the previous month, and again, bring them up to speed on some best practices. And that's my last slide.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Bryce, for putting that together and going over that. I think it's some good information, good detail. Like I said, we might circle back around and have some additional questions about that specifically, you know, a little bit later. But for right now, I'm going to kind of start going into my questions that I have for you, and then we'll go from there. So my first question is, why do you want to be in leadership?
You know, I've been with Vivint for 10 years, 11 years now. You know, I wouldn't be here if I didn't see the success with the company. And, you know, I do want to help the company grow in much more manageable ways, much more hands-on ways. Granted, you know, I do know that I am looked upon by my teammates as a leader, but, you know, it's not always, you're not able to dig in and do a lot of other things that leadership and management can. You're not able to mold the team within the focus or within the goals that you see that you would like to improve on. And that's, I would like to be more involved in that.
Okay. All right. In your opinion, what's the difference between a leader and a manager?
A manager is just the person that has the title, but also the person that kind of sets the tone of how things are going to change and all that. The leader is the one that establishes the leader is the one that that helps get on that roadmap, but it's the manager that sets that roadmap.
Okay. All right. All right. And then you can tell me one personal thing you know about each one of your teammates.
Something that I know of each one of my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with Michael. I know Michael has tons of leadership training, and you know, he loves to help those that are around him, and he tries to provide feedback to make them better. We've got Julio. Julio, he's new on the team. Honestly, I don't know too much about Julio. I've really just interacted with him at the meetings. And just the few times that he's called me for troubleshooting. That's a fault on my end.
Okay.
We've got David. David's again new to the company. You know, he eventually wants to go back to school. I don't remember what for, but I know eventually he does want to go back to school, but that's kind of long term. When I've kind of talked to him a little bit about it. Jason been with the alarm industry forever. He's, you know, working on his LVN, or he got his LVN, worked on his RN for a little bit, and ran into some struggles with that. You know, Jason was looking at expanding his family a little bit, and you know, that sort of thing. Emilio, again, Emilio, just like Jason, was looking to expand his family, and you know, he's got a construction background, working with his family, and yeah. We've got Rudy. Rudy loves to spend time in the gym. That's probably his one motivating factor. He's a hard worker, but you know, he wants to take care of his family. We've got Chris. With Chris new on the team, I don't know too much about him, honestly. Again, I've interacted with him with the meetings, and then he came out and we worked a little bit on a trim out together, so he could kind of see the process on how we would do it. He has some great questions on what I was doing and kind of the troubleshooting and all that. But again, I haven't talked to him too much outside of that. He hasn't called me for any troubleshooting or anything. We did bring up, or he did bring up, which I've been meaning to follow up with you on, whether or not we're supposed to leave the dialer delay on, but that's another time, another conversation. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody in San Antonio. I don't think I am. And then we've got Luis in Eagle Pass Del Rio. Again, he's been in San Antonio since I've been here in San Antonio. Other than, you know, just meeting him at team meetings and things like that, and the random troubleshooting, I honestly haven't talked to him too much. And then we've got Juan, and again, I helped him with the training a little bit, but I haven't reached out to him too much other than that, and when he's been filling in for Joe when he's been out of town. And then we've got Roberto out there as well, and Roberto, strong person on the team, great performance with it, usually leading the team in metrics, but again, reaching out to him personally is not something that I've done.
Okay. Just so you know, there's also Corey and Derek.
Yes. Crap. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Derek, I do talk to him every once in a while on the phone. You know, usually, with him, it's usually, hey, how are things going? Can I grab a quick part from you real quick? I know he's currently still in school. I believe it's something with networking, if I remember correctly. And he's looking to make himself better and things like that. Corey, I know he had issues. Recently moved down here from Chicago. I've ridden along with him every once in a while. I give him a phone call anytime I see issues or return trips on customers. I just had one yesterday, and I just called him just to mess with him a little bit and asking him why he broke the customer system when that didn't happen, just to get a rise out of him, just because, just to mess with him a little bit. And he knew that I was joking with him, obviously, but yeah, I don't know why I forgot him on the team.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right. If I asked your teammates, how many of them would say they speak to you often?
There's Michael, Jason, Derek. I think they would say that I speak with them often.
Okay.
Corey, like I said, I call him probably every 2 weeks or so. It seemed like lately for the last month or two, it's been about every 2 or 3 weeks. Same with David. I talk to him every once in a while, just kind of see how things are going. The guys that work on Saturday, I know we've got a lot more Saturday guys, but towards the end of the day, I used to call them a lot and kind of see how their day was going, see if they needed help with anything. For some reason, I've kind of gotten out of that habit, and I need to get back into it. But
Okay.
yeah, Emilio, I don't call too much, or any of the other guys, I don't call him too much. Rudy, I don't call him too much. So.
Okay. All right. My last question that I have for right now is, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on as a pro, as, FSM, RM. We all have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of initiatives, things to take care of, objectives, customers, issues, a lot of stuff like that. How do you handle when you have too much to do and not enough time to do it? And do you have a specific example?
Honestly, I try to power through it, but I also, if something can be delegated, I try to delegate it out. With work, school, a new family, all that puts a lot of pressure on my time. I try to manage it the best that I can, and I've had to make some sacrifices with some things, and I pay the consequences for that, just like anybody else, unfortunately. It's I had a trim out the other day, and me being stubborn that I am, I didn't ask for help, and it put me a little bit into overtime, and that's a flaw that I have, that I don't like to give things up, and I don't like to ask for help. But unfortunately, that's who I am.
Okay. All right. Like I said, that was my last question for right now. And then I think Tommy has some questions for you. And then, like I said, we might circle back to you at 30, 60, 90. But do you have any questions for us right now about anything?
What's the kind? I've seen the rollout that the training team gave, and I've seen what it's looking like for the team trainer on the Best Buy team. But I know that we're kind of not going to be going to the Best Buy side of things, or we might have modified. So what's it looking like? Kind of the expectations on schedule, time to meet with guys, things like that. What's that looking like for the team trainer on our team?
So as far as I know, like you said, I mean, Best Buy, the Best Buy stuff is obviously in San Antonio, but we're unique. We're not like any other market in the company. We will not be probably for the, I don't know, for the end of the till the end of the year. But I don't think we're going to not do some of the things that other team trainers are going to be doing, in the sense of, we're still going to have, as far as I understand it, a team trainer in a Best Buy area, or that has Best Buy focused pros. They're going to be blocked like half days, right? So they'll have a schedule half the day and then off the schedule half a day to do, audits, ride-alongs, work with the FSL if they need to. Like you were saying, looking at reporting, sending stuff out, so on and so forth. So I'm thinking and guessing and assuming, I guess, that it'll be something similar even in San Antonio and on the team, because again, eventually the Best Buy in San Antonio will transition to, what it's going to be in other places, as far as I understand it. So I don't think that it'll be something where it's like, well, we don't have Best Buy focused pros here right now, so we're not going to have the team trainer be involved, or, things like that. I think it'll follow the same lines as other team trainers, as far as I understand it, and what I would think would happen. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of, I'm trying to, within that schedule, if you're blocked off for a half day, it's going to be difficult to meet with some of the outlining teammates. So like Eagle Pass, Del Rio, because, 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and that's more than a half day just in drive time, not to mention time getting out there. So I'm kind of curious how, I understand that's probably going to be blocked off for the day for that, but yeah.
Yeah, there'll be exceptions to that. I mean, yeah, there'll be changes we'll have to make and different things we'll have to adjust to make sure we do what we have to do. But yeah, those will be kind of more the one-offs and things like that, and special exceptions, or whatever it
Yeah,
might be. So
based off market needs.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, it's a good question though. All right, Tommy, you the man.
I just know how to get in touch with the man. I got all their phone numbers.
911? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Bryce, man. Wow. Thank you for good morning, and thank you for your 30, 60, 90, man. I've got a few questions, and I'll just go through these. Who was the lowest person other than Chris on the last scorecard that you guys received, and what would you do to improve them?
I don't have that answer off the hand on exactly who it was. Let me pull it up on my email.
I've been posting him on Zinc every day too.
I just saw the details on the what you posted on Zinc yesterday. I didn't see a scorecard on Zinc yesterday. Or the email. I saw that. So besides Chris, it was Julio. And so probably besides DIR that's killing him, his service on install needs a lot of work as well. So I'd sit down, DIR, that's a metric, we have some say in, but as we all know, there's just some customers that no matter what you say, that install's not going to go in. I would discuss with him, see kind of the situation on the installs that he's had that didn't go in, see what could have been done that would have changed that the outcome of that, whether if the customer had certain concerns or things like that, or maybe it was a presentation issue. I doubt that, but it more than likely was probably just some other concerns. With his SIN 30, basically we would sit down, see what the return tickets were from on those, talk to him about his process. If it's, door window sensors that fell off that needed to return, talk about his process on how he's installing them, where is he installing them, is he prepping the surface really well using alcohol wipes, making sure that we have a good bond, if we can use screws, making the decision to go ahead and using screws that way so things are less likely to fall off. Things like in that nature that were specific to whatever return trips he was having on those installs.
All right. Thank you. What'd you say?
No, that's it.
Okay. And you may get a little lag between there. I'm typing up some notes and stuff, so at the end, if you get a little pause, that's probably what that is, and I'm just muted, so I'm not pecking all in the recording and whatnot. All right. Who have you reached out to get to better and improve personally and professionally? And this is you. Who have you reached out to get better and improve personally and professionally for yourself?
So I've reached out to Michael Rodriguez a couple of times, talking to him about his sales process, all that. I've also talked to a friend of mine that's an FSM on the team. His name is Christopher Russ. He's in the Nashville market. I've discussed with him on things that would make me, more marketable, things that I could do to kind of improve myself, things that he would be looking for in a team trainer. I've also talked to another friend of mine who he's on the RAM team by the name of Curtis Duty. Again, it's kind of the same thing that I discussed with Chris. If he was in a management position, what would he be looking for somebody underneath him? And what feedback they would give me. They were probably a little bit more biased in it because I consider them very good friends, but I'm trying to apply the feedback that I've gotten from them.
Okay. All right. What motivates you, and what are your true passions?
So my passion is taking care of the customer. No matter what, we want to get that customer protected and do it in the best way for them, but also within what's best for the company. And sometimes that's a fine line to walk, and it's just a very fine line. What motivates me is my family. That's really what motivates me. That's why I kind of do what I do, is to take care of my family. And without my family, I really don't think I would have a reason to wake up 4 in the morning.
Thank you for that, man, and I appreciate that type of motivation. What is code?
It's Jim Dillinger's plan, but I can't tell you what each one means.
Can you name any of them?
No, my mind's blank right now.
Okay. Vivid values.
My mind's going blank on our values.
All right, no problem, man. Um, kind of a open forum question. Um, why do we need you in this position?
I'm going to be honest. You don't need me in this position. We have lots of well qualified guys that any one of them would do a great job in this position. So I I may not be the best person for this position, and if you guys find somebody that's much better than me or even slightly better than me, they're the they're that person for the position. So it's probably counterproductive to myself to fight for, to basically say that, I'm not fighting for it, but it's, I've had this conversation with Joe a lot of times. If there's somebody that's better out there to do the position, let's let them do the position. Let's let them succeed. And so, it's, I feel that I know my job very well, and I feel that I do my job very well. Uh, but if somebody's out there that's better at it, let's give them the time to shine. Let's give them, what they need and the tools that they need to succeed. And I'll be right there to support them, and still, being a leader on my team that I know everybody does look up at me for. So.
Okay. Um, and just one question, kind of into and around your 30, 60, 90. Out of the things that you have in there, as we've said, and as you kind of mentioned as well, and understand that you don't need a title to be a leader. With some of the things that you have in there, how have you been when it comes to doing these types of things already? This could be within yourself, as someone that basically is the manager of self. So you manage yourself, and then just the simple fact that you're within a team, and the team works together, and you don't need that title to be a leader. So there's things that we can do and go after to make the team better. So how have you been when it comes to doing these types of things already?
So honestly, with it, if I notice that I'm following up behind somebody with a 30 or 60-day return trip on a ticket, if I notice that, as soon as I leave the house, I give them a phone call and say, hey, I was in this house, this is what was going on with it. Either hey, this might have been missed by you, did you check this, etc. Or hey, just let you know this is going to hit your numbers. Unfortunately, I see nothing that you could have caught with this, but I want you to know that this is hitting your numbers. I try to follow up with everybody that I see a return ticket on. Just whether it comes up in passing with the customer, hey, there's somebody out here recently. Oh, really? Okay. Or it's great when you go to do the inspections, because since guys are doing inspections, if you look at that, you can see the date, the last time that somebody inspected that system, and that's I use that a lot of times as a key of, hey, somebody was recently out here. Like I said, I've talked to Michael a couple of times about ways that I can improve my pitch, my ability to close on upgrades, because I know the equipment. It's just I flood the customer with too much information with it, and I just kind of overload them with it, or I'm still trying to figure out what my issue is with upgrades, or maybe I just shut down too soon and go, okay, yeah, you know what, you need to discuss with your family. I don't know. And so yeah, I do look at the reports that Joe sends out. I look at my metrics on it and kind of see where I'm sitting. Just last night I looked through to see what return trips I had on the details that he sent out yesterday, just to see if I noticed anything that I might have been able to do to change the outcome of those tickets.
Those are all of my questions. Joe, did you have any follow-ups or anything?
Nope. Honestly, I think I'm good. Bryce, did you have any questions for us that you thought of?
Honestly, if I don't get the position, can I get feedback on kind of some things that I could have done to change it?
Sure.
Or some to improve on, not to change the outcome, but some things to improve on. Obviously, I know kind of the two things would be know code and know the Vivint values. I see that staring at my face right now, so I know that one.
ATD.
Yep, ATD.
So
No, yeah, man. Joe can answer for himself, but yeah, you'll definitely be able to get some feedback, man. I mean, that's always able to be provided, and that's something that we'll always do as leaders for you. So, absolutely. And then also to kind of just follow up with the question you asked earlier about the expectations for the role. That we're still waiting on those to be released. It was supposed to be released this week, and then we heard yesterday it'll probably be next week, more than likely towards the beginning of next week. So there should be some info from field service communication being released and sent out to everyone about just updates on the team trainer role, expectations, where there will be openings, stuff like that. So for the official positions and everything. So there should be more info coming within about a week.
Okay. And then obviously reporting on Vivint University, all that's locked down, right? I haven't tried to access anything on there, but that's locked down if you don't hold the team trainer position, correct?
Yeah, as far as you're talking about university being like the trainings and things?
Well, I know some of the trainings, they're just there, which, either way, I plan on looking through those on that email with the hyperlinks that you sent out. It had some of the webinars that they've had, which that's my other question. The webinars just ended like September of last year, and there haven't been any more. Is there a reason why the training team decided not to continue those on the development of the trainer position?
I guess I'm not sure what you're referring to. Am I missing something? I mean,
where is it? I'm trying to pull it back up on my computer. So this is on
webinars for what?
So it's the team trainer webinar recordings. It's on Academy. I'm sorry. I said the wrong website.
So you mean like are they posting the links from the team trainer meetings? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean?
So they've got these ones linked on here. They've got August 2015 through September 2016. But there's no more past September 2016. So my question is, have they done additional ones since then? And if so, do I, as a FSP, have access to those so that I can better myself?
What's an
FSP? Or SHP, sorry. I caught myself right as I said it. So.
Yeah. But we'll follow up. I know that they have had more calls. So maybe they just aren't putting them on there, or maybe you're right. Maybe it might be an access type thing. We can ask and find out.
Okay.
Yeah, there have been webinars though, but I didn't know they were posting them on Academy. I didn't even know that. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, to view the recording, you got to enter your information. So maybe I won't be able to view them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if you have access to them.
Well, if I had access to it, I was going to watch them, but I'll try it and let you guys know if it works or doesn't work.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, I think we're good then. So yeah, thanks again, Bryce, for taking the time, putting together your 30, 60, 90, answering the questions, asking questions. So I think we're we're good for now. Thanks, fellas. Have a good Friday.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the time, guys, and have a great weekend as well.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, gentlemen. You guys have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
You too. Later.